How do you put that on a kid's TV show? How do you air that? Hey Phries, welcome back to another video. So I know everybody talks about Christmas in July, but today we're gonna do Halloween in March. I know, pretty lame. Now, looking at the title of this video, you already know what it's about. I'm going to be talking about 5 semi-scary moments in children's TV shows. Quick disclaimer, I'm not going to be talking about any of the Halloween-themed episodes, and I won't be talking about shows that are essentially scary in themselves. So no Real Monsters, no Are You Afraid of the Dark, no Goosebumps, no Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nothing like that. Instead, I'm going to be talking about other children's shows that honestly scared the living crap out of me when I was a child. And by shows, I mean episodes. I'm going to go from the least scariest to the most scariest in my opinion. So the first moment I'm going to be talking about is an episode of SpongeBob called House Fancy. In this episode, Squidward is watching a TV show and he learns that the show is essentially a home makeover show and they're going to be making over this house, and it turns out that the house belongs to Squilliam. He gets pretty jealous and he sees SpongeBob outside, and SpongeBob basically ends up coming in to help him remodel his home. And there's one moment where they're moving furniture around that this happens.
Okay, it's on my foot. Okay. SpongeBob, I told you not to move it till I said. Why do you keep moving it?
Yep.
You keep saying.
Right, so as you could see from that moment, SpongeBob is helping Squidward move his couch, and the couch end gets caught on Squidward's toenail, and SpongeBob keeps moving it, and the toenail rips off. This moment isn't that bad, but what really did it for me was the fact that you could see like the little pool of blood on Squidward's tentacle, and yeah, SpongeBob is a savage and just kept going, and rest in peace, toenail. The next scary moment that pretty much kept me up at night comes from Rugrats, and the episode is called In the Dreamtime. Essentially, this episode revolves around Chucky having a difficult time figuring out what's a dream and what's reality, and he's having a lot of nightmares and he's not sure what's real and what's fake. Now, I'm sure you know this moment because I believe it's been on many Teen Nick commercials, and I feel like it was a meme at one point, but here we go.
Just in time for a spot of tea, eh,
Okay.
Hey,
Talking Spike is okay.
Talk? What's going on, Tommy? I'm not Tommy.
Honestly, like, the I'm not Tommy was pretty funny.
The untroubled sleep of the innocent. Stu, I didn't know you were coming over. I'm not Stu.
Okay. So I look back at it now and I think it's pretty funny because the voice and the way that their face transformed. But like, what really hit me about that episode was the fact that Chaz, Chucky's dad, was experiencing that as well at the very end, because the whole episode is basically Chucky, and you think that Chucky, you know, has a difficult time figuring out what's real and what's fake, and then you're not expecting it at the end. So then, at least when I was younger, maybe like 8 or 9, maybe even 10, like when that happened, I wasn't expecting Stu to not be Stu, or for Chaz to be, you know, having a nightmare, which freaked me out. The third scary moment comes from the Magic School Bus, and the episode is called Get Lost in Space. You probably know what this is about. Basically, long story short, Miss Frizzle, doing her Mary Poppins type magic, takes the school to outer space. Basically, the Magic School Bus transforms into a rocket ship, and they're in space. Now, Janet, being damn it Janet, decides to be greedy and start collecting everything, because I guess she wanted to like take it back to Earth or what have you. And I know that the class gets separated and Janet's more worried about, you know, who she is and, you know, bringing souvenirs back and not finding the other half of the class. So this is what happens when she decides to focus on herself instead of her cousin.
There's no way I'm going home without my stuff. There's no way I'm going home without you.
Oh,
Nobody
Arnold
will
is so
believe
sweet.
me without it. I'll believe you. They'll believe you.
Why is she so sassy though?
Janet,
You see that
want
head
proof?
movement?
I'll give you proof. Here's proof of what'll happen to you if you stay here with your stuff. Arnold! No!
Don't even do it, Arnold. It's not worth it. because his cousin was being a spoiled brat, he took off his helmet and froze to death, or what have you. Now, that's what the episode wants you to believe, but he didn't actually die. He just ends up having a cold. But if you were young and, were forced to go places during the middle of episodes because you had to go and listen to your family, you would have thought that Arnold died. Now, I vaguely remember watching that episode and then having to go to, like, some appointment or something, or to the grocery store or something, and coming back and being like, wow, Arnold really just died. Like, he's frozen. You can't unfreeze him. Like, they put that on TV. How do you put that on a kid's TV show? How do you air that? Why is that a thing? Anyway, Arnold's cool. He's alive. But, like, that was wild. Magic School Bus did that. Miss Frizzle, like, what are you doing? You need to control Janet. Damn it, Janet. Also, like, real quick, why is she so sassy? Why is she so bossy? Why is she so spoiled? Like, why'd you have to take all that stuff back anyway? Life lessons, priorities, family over items. Especially a family member who's going to take off their helmet in space. Also, can I just say it's really funny if you look back to when Arnold was walking over to Janet, he's not, like, floating like you would in, like, zero gravity. He's running, jumping, and it looks like he's just taking really big steps. The fourth scariest moment is from Hey Arnold, and the episode is called Part-Time Friends. And basically what happens is that Arnold and Gerald are both working at a flower shop, and Gerald is temporarily appointed manager, I believe. So he has, like, quote-unquote, a little more power over Arnold, and that essentially gets to his head. They fight and don't talk for a little bit, and Arnold's grandpa, whose name happens to be Phil, tells him about him having an argument with a friend and them not talk for a while, and basically how they should just make up. So Arnold ends up having a dream about him and Gerald being older and them still not talking. There's one scene in the dream sequence that to this day terrifies the crap out of me. Quick lighting change.
And I never liked you. Happiest day of my life is when we stopped talking to each other. What did I tell you?
This part right here. Like, I can, oh my god, I can't.
Whoa! I can't let that happen to Gerald and me. I gotta go see him.
And then his jaw falls off, and I can't. Nope, cannot. Nope. That literally gave me nightmares for years. Number one, the scariest moment that I can remember as a child, which so many people I feel like don't talk about, and I have no idea why, because this was in a kid's show. It really messed me up for like the longest time. In the show Arthur, there was an episode called Meek for a Week, and basically Muffy, I guess, has a bet with Francine for her to be nice for a week. And all of her friends worry that if she's nice, she may pop. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this video.
She's gonna sail clear to the next town. My, but it's a lovely day.
Yep, sure is a lovely day.
Wow! Mommy! Some kid's head fell in our yard! What a beautiful lawn!
Mommy, some kid's head fell on our lawn. And then she responds, what a beautiful lawn. Who put that in a kid's show? Like, why is that there? That is just the most bizarre thing in the entire world. Like, you can't just have a head popping off of a child's body, flying through their classroom, and then landing on some stranger's lawn. Like, that's not how that... Honestly, like, when I watched that, I honestly thought that, like, if you were too nice or too mean or something, that your head would just pop off. And that episode of Arthur literally scarred me for the longest time. And I have no idea why people do not talk about that more, because that is literally, like, wow. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. It's just something that I wanted to do because I was reminded of the last scary moment where Francine's head pops off, and I just needed to tell people about it. If you like this video, make sure to like, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification if you really want, and comment down below and tell me what your favorite scary moment from your favorite children's TV show was. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Also, if you want to, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both are @PhilFry. And until April,